Shake on It by It's_Kingston on AO3. Episode 7, Chapter 7. Saturday arrived much sooner than Luz expected it to. It was probably because Luz was nervous, or maybe it was because Amity had arranged the study session on Friday. Luz wasn't sure why she was nervous. She was only meeting up with the school's Little Miss Perfect, with her straight hair and straight A's and... Off track. Oh, come on. She didn't even tell me what to bring, Luz explained, causing King, who was currently laying on her bed, to poke his head up and look towards the annoyed girl. It's a study session, so obviously I need to bring my books. But which ones? I can't bring them all, she murmured under her breath, petting King to calm herself down. She wasn't sure how to connect to Amity. Maybe she just handed the mint-haired girl her pentagram wasn't the best idea. Luz mentally scolded herself, making a note to be less slick and more direct next time. Ugh, she hasn't sent me a friend request yet, or even messaged me. Is she chicken or just being normal, annoying, minty fresh? Luz pondered. Frustration by the lack of contact from her new study buddy was providing. As if on cue, her phone chimed. Who's Rich Chick 128? Luz questioned. She didn't know who picked such a unique username. Rich Chick 128. Hello, is this Noceda? Was the message she's receiving from the unknown user? This confused Luz further. Who would know her name? Oh, was all Luz said after realizing it was Minty Fresh. Opening the message, she responded, Noceda. The one and only, that you, Blight? Rich Chick 128. Yes. Luz didn't particularly like the type of people who gave one-word answers. They always gave very dry conversation, much like Amity. Oh yeah, I was supposed to ask her about what I should bring. Another chime interrupted Luz's thought. Looking back towards her phone, she opened the message. Rick Chick 128. Are you on your way? It's 11:58. Oh, crammy, Luz murmured, having forgotten that she needed to be there by 12. Noceda, would you believe I haven't left yet? Luz rubbed the back of her neck, a nervous habit she had been unable to break, much to her dismay. Rich Chick 128. Yes, I would. Well, at least it's not one-word answer, Luz murmured, trying to make light of the situation. Noceda, what do I need to bring? Rich Chick 128. Nothing. We'll be in the school's library. They have the materials present. Oh, I should have thought about that. Luz sighed, heading downstairs as she sent Amity a final message. On my way, Minty Fresh. Bye, Eda. Luz charged out of the room, not bothering to wait for an answer. She ran towards the school before realizing she didn't know where the library was. Oh no, Luz thought, scanning the campus for any sort of library-looking structure. Glancing around, she couldn't see much, the large schoolhouse blocking the majority of her sightline. Luckily for her, the library was placed in the shadow of the building main, a small pathway connecting the two. Score! She pumped her fist into the air, seeing the building labeled Library in bold letters. Luz raced towards the front of it, running as fast as she could, trying not to be extremely late. She was running so fast, in fact, that she almost was unable to stop when a certain green-haired girl stepped out in front of her. Geez, I almost ran over you, Luz explained between breaths, frustration evident through her facial features. Again. You shouldn't have been running that fast then, Amity teased. She seemed to be in a better mood than Luz assumed she'd be. I know you for the type to get upset when somebody's late, so you seem pretty happy, though. Luz joked back, her breath finally slowed to normal. I'm not happy. I just find your antics amusing. Amity seemed to lie as natural as she breathed, or at least Luz thought so. Okay then, let's go. Luz pointed towards the library doors, acting like a pirate, directing her crew to land. Amity sighed, entering the library behind Luz. But not without a complaint about her shenanigans. Luz sped ahead to one of the many empty tables, sitting down in the hard wooden chair. "What are you doing, Noceda?" Amity questioned, her eyebrows raised in confusion. Sitting down? Luz wasn't sure what she meant, as she'd only sat down at an open table. "We're not studying at a table. Did I forget to mention that?" Amity explained, gesturing for the confused girl to follow her. "No," Luz replied, wondering behind Amity, eyes skimming the surrounding area as she took in the size of the library. Shelves were stacked to the ceiling, books filling every inch of the hallways. Luz guessed there might be 1,000,000 books here, since the school was massive too. The pair of acquaintances, stepped in front of the romantic section, earning a confused glance from Luz. "Blight, are you trying to imply something?" Luz questioned, unsure of what she wanted the answer to be. "No! Stop thinking weird things, Noceda." Amity scowled, reaching for a book in the shelf's corner. With a soft click, the book slid away, revealing a medium-sized room tucked away from the rest of the world. A small haven for only the pair. "Whoa! This is incredible!" Luz exclaimed, staring starry-eyed into the newly revealed space. "Go in. I don't want anyone else to know about this room," Amity said, ushering Luz into the dark space, closing the bookshelf behind her before flickering the lights on. "This is so cool." Luz couldn't help but spin around, taking in the room. It wasn't giant, maybe enough room for 6 people to fit comfortably, but it was like a secret hideaway. "Thanks," Amity murmured, walking towards the desk that sat in the corner. Piles of books sat on top of it. "Did you make this? Is it yours? Does anyone else know about it?" Luz's questions flew out, one after the other. "Calm down. No, I didn't build it. I found it. Yes, it's mine. No, no one other than us know about it." Amity calmly answered the girl's questions, watching her expression change as she explained how she found it. "Wait, you said only we know." A grin spread across Luz's face, a mischievous grin. "Yes," the other girl confirmed, unsure how to feel about the look on Luz's face. "I'm flattered you like me enough to show me your secret getaway," Luz teased, clasping her hands together and pretending to swoon. "Yeah." Luz sobbed. A small blush rose to her cheeks, though she quickly pushed it down, chalking it up to the temperature in the windowless room. "We should get to studying now," Luz said, still unsure about her strange reaction to Amity's one-word response. "Yeah." Amity nodded, pulling up a second chair to the small desk. Luz took her seat, and the two began to study, quizzing each other and taking notes as they went. They continued for some time until the pair became hungry and decided to take a break. "I'm heading to the vending machine outside. Do you want something?" Amity asked, standing up from her spot at the desk. Yeah, classic strands," Luz responded, not looking up from the textbook she buried herself in. "Sure," Amity responded, hitting a small button beside the door, causing it to slide back open. She stepped out of the room, closing the door behind her. Luz sighed and closed her eyes, leaning back towards the chair. Pulling out her phone, she checked the time. 2:19 p.m. "Jeez, it's been 2 hours," Luz thought to herself, standing up to take a much-needed stretch break. She decided to walk around the room, even though she'd much rather some fresh air. She feels terrible if she'd somehow broke her friend's secret door or revealed its location to others. Pacing in circles around the room, Luz observed the smaller details she skimmed past when she first entered. The room was well kept, no dust or dirt anywhere, which fit perfectly with the image Luz had of Amity. Walking to the bookshelf, she glanced over the titles, seeing many books she's never heard of. Her eyes fell on a series of books pushed towards the back of the shelf, partially hidden behind the books she had landed on their sides in the front of it. "Is that the Good Witch Azora?" Luz exclaimed. She never met someone her age who also enjoyed the series. Smoothing the books out of the way, Luz pulled the 4 books to the front of the shelf. "What are you doing?" Amity's confused voice sounded behind her. "You read The Good Witch Azora too?" Luz shot up from her crouched position beside the shelf, staring wide-eyed at the green-haired girl. Uh, yeah, she responded, still sounding a bit confused. I've never met anyone else my age who likes the series, too. Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite book? I like them all. I'm not sure I could pick one, but if I had to choose, I'd probably pick. Oh, I'm rambling, aren't I? Luz stopped, using the hand she wasn't clutching the book with to rub the back of her neck. Amity mumbled something under her breath before audibly replying to Luz's explicit questions. Yeah, it's not very top student-y to read them, so I don't talk about it, Amity said, brushing the topic aside as she tossed a bag of chips to Luz. Oh, well, since I'm your trusted friend, I'll lend you the fifth one, Luz exclaimed, having noticed she only had the first four. Really? Thanks, Amity murmured, trying and failing to hide her excitement. It's at my aunt's house, though. I'll bring it next time, Luz said, loudly chomping her chips. Should we continue studying? Amity asked, having quickly finished her snack. Luz nodded in response, returning to her chair beside Amity. The two began studying again, finishing homework and reading ahead in the textbook Amity had received from the library's wide selection of studying material. The ringing of a phone broke the silence, startling the pair. Oh, sorry, that's mine. Luz stood up, grabbing her phone out of her pocket. Hey, kid. Hi, Eda, what's up? You gonna be home for dinner? It's almost time to eat. What? It is? Geez, don't blow my ears off, kids. Yeah, it's 7 p.m. Really? Why would I lie about the time? Good point. I think I'll just stop by somewhere on the way home. Okay, kid. Or for me, then. Bye, Eda. Everything okay? Amity glanced over to Luz, having been startled by her sudden outburst. Yeah, I just didn't know it was already that late. I should probably get going. You want to stop by somewhere with me for dinner? Luz asked, sliding her phone back into her pocket. No, I'll be here for a few more hours, Amity replied, gesturing to the towering stacks of books beside her. Oh, okay, see you on Monday then, Luz said, waving as she clicked the button and stepped out of the hiding room. Luz began walking out of the library, weaving through shelves as she tried to navigate herself out, finally reaching the exit. She walked to the nearby family restaurant, the Burger Snack. Is Minty Fresh going to be there all night or something? Luz wondered, stepping up to the counter to order her dinner. I'll have two cheeseburgers and, 2 large fries. Also 2 large Pepsis to drink. That's all. Oh, wait, actually, 2 chocolate chip cookies, please. Luz stuttered out. She was great at talking to others, but there was something about beady eyes of the depressed and tired teenagers working the night shift that seemed to bore a hole into you, taking in your every move as they blearily waited for your order, and it unnerved her. After paying for her order and loading up on condiments, Luz began the trek back to the library, ready to surprise her dearest friend. Knock, knock, Luz said, unable to actually knock with the bags in her hand. What? Amity sounded annoyed, probably because her reading was interrupted. With a click, Luz gained access to the room, seeing Amity still sitting at her desk, where she had been when Luz left half an hour ago. Geez, are you a statue? You haven't moved since I left, Luz joked, setting the food tray beside Amity. What is that? Amity looked towards Luz, an eyebrow raised. It's dinner. I didn't know what you liked, so I got a cheeseburger and fries. Oh, and a Pepsi. Luz gestured towards the food, pointing as she went. Oh, also, I don't know what kind of sauce you liked, so I grabbed the normal ones. Luz added, throwing a small packet onto the table. I got ketchup, mustard, and ranch. People who put mayo on burgers are weird, but, you're pretty strange, Blight, so I grabbed some of that too. Luz teased, grabbing her portion and sitting down. Thanks, Amity responded, a smile on her normally stoic features. Whoa, you can smile? Luz asked, grinning. She was surprised, but overjoyed to see her happy. Wow, thanks, Amity murmured, turning away from Luz. Sorry, I was kidding. Luz put her hands up in a mock defense, earning a giggle from Amity. Put the book down and eat already. Your food's gonna get cold, Luz said, having already finished her burger. You were pretty slow. Are you sure it wasn't cold when you got here, Noceda? Amity joked back, grabbing her food from the tray. And after I even got you a cookie, maybe I should eat it, Luz said, acting offended by Amity's remark. A cookie? Chocolate chip? Amity asked, seeming ecstatic from just the mention of one. Yup, you gotta finish your dinner first, Luz said, grabbing them from the bag beside her. You're not my mother, Amity scowled, sounding displeasant at the current lack of cookies. I am now. Just call me Mrs. Blight, Luz joked, glancing towards Amity for a reaction. I will do no such thing, Amity replied, sounding slightly frustrated, but her tone was overshadowed by the amount of annoyed she looked at the mention of her mother. Okay, it was a joke. Can I cheer you up with a cookie? Luz said, holding a warm cookie towards Amity. Yes, she replied, quickly grabbing the cookie from Luz. Before Luz could pick up hers and begin eating, Amity had already finished hers. Geez, Blight, did you taste it? Amity asked, concerned at the rate the girl just finished the whole cookie. I did. It tasted delicious. Thank you, she responded, warmly, grinning. You really like them that much? Luz asked, so concerned about her breakneck eating speed. Yeah, chocolate chip is my favorite, Amity said, taking a sip of her drink. Here. Luz broke her cookie in half, holding one out to Amity. I like oatmeal better, besides. I grabbed, all the mint in the free mint area. Luz snickered, proud of her actions. I can't take that. It's your... Before Amity could finish her sentence, Luz, who was expecting this, walked over and put the cookie in her men's mouth. I don't want it. Besides, I got mints and the other half. If I really wanted one, I'll walk back to the restaurant, Luz declared, marching triumphantly to her bag of mints, leaving Amity to silently eat her half. After ruffling through the bag in silence for a moment, Luz held up a mint. This reminds me of someone, she joked, tossing the mint over to Amity. What do you mean? Amity inquired, looking at the mint she held. It's green and smells like peppermint, Luz exclaimed, unsure if Amity had missed a joke or was being sarcastic. Acutely observant, Captain Obvious, Amity replied, still not getting the joke. Should I even explain it? Was it that unfunny? Luz said sarcastically, looking into the bag. Who is it? I want to know. I can't think of... Oh, it's me, isn't it? Amity deadpanned, glaring at Luz. Nah, the other cute green-haired girl who smells like spearmint, Luz thought. Or at least she thought she didn't say it out loud. What? Amity asked, her eyebrows raised towards Luz. Luz responded, still unaware of what just happened. Did you mean to say that out loud? Amity rephrased her question, still looking confused. I said that out loud? Whoops. Luz played it off, or at least she hoped she did. Whatever, just stop being weird, Noceda, Amity teased, launching the mint back to Luz. I thought we were friends, Blight. Still no first name? Luz mocked back, grinning at her green-haired friend. Nope, just studying partners. Acquaintances, Amity said, grabbing the book off the desk to continue reading in the beanbag chair. Aw, really? I was hoping to win you over with that mint, Luz said, plopping one into her mouth. It almost worked, Amity added, sarcastically, yawning as she flipped to the next page of the book. Oh, come on. Stop reading all the time. You're first place on exams. You literally can't get any higher. Besides, you look like you're going to fall asleep any second, Luz said to her, reaching over and lifting the book out of her hands. Give it back, Amity said tiredly, sleep finally catching up to her. Nope, you look way too tired, Luz said, shutting the book and putting it on the desk. I'm fine. Amity yawned again, her lids feeling heavy. And I can do magic, Luz responded, rolling her eyes. That's amusing. I'd like to see some, Noceda, Amity teased, laying back into the beanbag and shutting her eyes. Luz pulled out her phone to check the time, Glancing down, she saw it was almost 11 p.m. Wow, hours sped like seconds. Luz murmured, being careful not to disturb Amity. I really need to get going, but I can't leave Sleeping Beauty here. Luz murmured, shoving her phone back into her pocket. She said she wanted to see magic. I'll just show her a teleportation spell, she joked to herself, slowly scooping up Amity in her arms. She couldn't help but blush when the sleeping girl subconsciously wrapped her arms around Luz's neck. The walk back to Eda's place took Luz longer than normal, with her sleeping friend in her arms. Arriving at the door, Luz opened it, expecting Eda to already be asleep. Hey, kid, what took you so... Oh, did you kill the Blight kid? I can't say I condone, but I won't rat you out, Eda said in a hushed tone, like the cops would hear her from there. What? Eda, no! Luz looked concerned that her aunt would jump to a conclusion like that. She's asleep. We spent all day studying, and she was so tired she fell asleep in the library. I didn't want to leave her, and I'm not sure where her house is, Luz explained, rushing past Eda. My arms are starting to hurt, so I'm gonna put her down. We already had dinner, so I'm gonna go to sleep too, she continued, walking up the stairs as fast as possible without dropping Amity. Okay, Eda murmured, confused about what had happened, but she decided to worry about it tomorrow. Luz gingerly laid her friend on her bed, choosing her use her old sleeping bag on the floor rather than crowd the bed. Oh man, I'm gonna regret this in the morning, Luz said, laying down on the sleeping bag she hadn't used for years. Okay, why was that actually kind of cute? I actually kind of like this chapter. This chapter is actually kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. Chapter 8. How long is chapter 8 gonna be? Hold up. I'm gonna copy paste see. How long is chapter 8? This one, as I said, it was literally 2 minutes more. I said it was gonna be like 1 to 2 more minutes. Word count. See, I know exactly how much minutes each one is. So the next one is gonna be literally exactly the same. I think the next one's gonna be a tad bit shorter though. Just a tad bit. But yeah, okay. See what I mean? See what I told you guys? Kingston always starts off with short chapters and slowly more chapters go in. As I said before, I think it's just because you get into the groove of things. Not saying that when you start it isn't good. It's good, but there's a difference between like it's good and like you're writing and whatever, and like you write short until you get into your groove and you start writing longer for longer periods of time, right? You get what I mean? You get what I mean. Anyways, there's not much to say today. I just think this was cute. Are they starting to get together? Also, I know you mentioned that this one's also OOC. Right? OOC, out of character. This one's also out of character, right? But it's not out of character so far. I actually think it's really pretty on par. I think this one's a bit more on par than 30 Days was, if I'm being honest. Actually, I think I like this one a lot. I'm kind of digging this one a little more than I was digging 30 Days. Nothing to shame on 30 Days. 30 Days was cute, but I think this one's a little cuter. Maybe because we got a little more cute moments like that. So when is Odalia gonna come in and ruin this for us? Is she gonna come in and ruin it for us? She gonna ruin it for us? She gonna ruin it for us? Is she gonna ruin it? Is she gonna ruin it for us? Ruin? Hee hee haha. Is she gonna ruin it for us? Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.